Egan Bernal eventually attacks his group. He certainly won't ride with them at all. He just sews up that little bit of a gap as Lipowicz continues to pile on the pressure. Richard Carapaz is there.
Carapaz, here we go. Carapaz attacks too. The Ecuadorian does not want to wait to the finish. Now, what has Lipowicz got left? He's waited until Lipowicz swung off, and the Olympic champion it is who now kicks off up the road. Carapaz giving that absolutely full beans. What has Rodriguez got left? Because C-Rod so far on this climb, Matt, hasn't looked like he's even really at his close to his maximum.
No, but Carapaz has flown. Remember, Carapaz started the day in 30th position overall, 1 minute and 16 seconds down, but he's opened up a sizable gap already and moving visibly quicker than the two behind. Rodriguez looks around for some assistance. Lipowicz is on his way there, but still the man in the virtual lead of this race would be Carlos Rodriguez. Let's see what our man out in front, Richard Carapaz, can do. But Ayuso's completely capitulated here.
Oh, no, he looked ice cold all day. He looked so good. Ah, dearie me. He's going to live to fight another day, but he's turning squares on the bike at the moment, Juan Ayuso. And now he's going to get some help, of course, from last year's winner, Adam Yates. Or is he going to get help? I don't even know if they can help him because Sivakov's come back too. At least he's got two teammates there, but Ayuso has still got the steepest part of this climb yet to come. Richard Carapaz has struck out the Ecuadorian at just seemingly the perfect time in amongst Lipowicz as well at the very front end there. He could be riding away to the stage win here. This is full effort now. I can't see him being able to regroup from that if he's caught again, Matt. I might be wrong, but Richard Carapaz has gone full tilt at this stage.
Yep. You look at the way that Carapaz in the past has won races. He is so smart. He just waits. He bides his time. He rides not just with strength, but he measures his effort. He times his attacks to perfection, and he's like a cold spring there. All he's done is attack once. And he's going to win this bike race. He is going to win this bike race today. There's no way that the two behind are going to catch him. Rodriguez is riding for GC. Lipowicz also riding for GC. Vlasov is just behind. So Lipowicz will not give the Spaniard any assistance at all because Vlasov is higher placed. Remember, we went in today. Ayuso is leading with a 7-second advantage over Van Wilder. Vlasov at 10 seconds. Carlos Rodriguez, who's up in front at the moment, at 11 seconds.
I'm just wondering, Matt, what Enric Mas has got left, because he's not done too much too soon, and we've just seen him come off the wheel of Alexander Vlasov there. Let's keep an eye on the blue Movistar jersey of Enric Mas, because there are some gaps here that are bridgeable. I mean, Carapaz does look very good, doesn't he? He cuts a super aero climbing profile when he's going really quick, doesn't he? On the drops and absolutely ripping the pedals over. He's coming into the final K here. That'll be the Flamme Rouge just ahead of him, and it does start to level out a little bit when we get to the top of the ski slope here. Carapaz looking really good for the win.
Yep, he's looking superb, isn't he? If he does pull this one off, it'll be his second win of the year after a stage of the Tour of Colombia and the national road race champion, so the time trial champion, shall I say, of Ecuador. He's absolutely flying, and this last K is going to go pretty quickly. So for the overall classification, as they just passed the Kingdom Mountains point, Carlos Rodriguez could be riding himself into yellow here. Lipowicz will not give any assistance at all. Carapaz out of the saddle, making sure he's got the win under his belt. But what a win here. Just sat in the wheels. We hardly even saw him in that group. He's so experienced and so strong, but when he lashes out, when he goes, it's with such violence that nobody has anything to answer it with. He is so strong, but crucially he rides with real intellect. He's an absolute assassin on a bike.
In the Olympic year, as we round towards the Paris Olympics, the current Olympic champion, who of course won that title in the COVID Olympics of Tokyo, delayed by 1 year, only 3 years ago, of course. But boy, is he now coming into great form. Richard Carapaz, former Giro D'Italia winner, and ripping up this final climb. The ferocity with which he attacked, showing full intent, not worrying about the general classification. He lost time again in the time trial yesterday. Richard Carapaz is riding away to a very fine World Tour stage win, as long as he can hold off Carlos Rodriguez, who is here in diesel mode, riding for the general classification. The yellow jersey that was on the shoulders still is on the jersey of Juan Ayuso, but Ayuso is languishing further mountain being looked after by last year's winner, Adam Yates. Carapaz looks back, Matt, but he's got this in the bag, I think.
It does look like it, doesn't it? 350 metres to go or so. There's the battle from behind. The gap foreshortened by the gradient, but Rodriguez is actually starting to, I think it's going to see an attack just to try and take those time bonuses away. But is he going to catch Carapaz? The road just level out. Carapaz desperately looks behind. Still 200 metres to go. Can Lipowitz bring him back? Carapaz fighting.
Florian Lipowitz was on the radio, I think, Matt, asking for permission to go for it, and here comes the German. He is absolutely ripping up here, Florian Lipowitz, and Carapaz is going to have to work hard to stay clear of the German because he is coming. Bora Hansgrohe might yet get the stage win. Richard Carapaz is going to have to dig everything in here to keep Florian Lipowitz off, and he does just that. The Olympic champion takes the Queen stage of the Tour de Romandie. What a finale. What a ride by the German Florian Lipowitz. And here comes Rodriguez, who surely will take over the race lead. That should see him good in yellow.
Only by a second or two, because Vlasov was ahead of him overall, wasn't he? So it's going to be very, very tight. If he is in the... We should be in the lead, but only by 1 or 2 seconds. What a race we have had today. Egan Bernal, superb as well. Set things up. Van Wilder fighting every single inch of the way. Theo Gegenhardt as well. What a great ride by the British rider, the former Giro champion, remember, on his way back to form for Lidl Trek.
And that looks like David Gaudu coming across, the best of the two Groupama riders. There's the yellow jersey of Juan Ayuso, who's had a rough old climb. Lenny Martinez finishes too, as does Simon Yates. Oh boy, did the cream rise to the top, but some of the cream got cooked as well. What a kick by this guy. It is so true, Matt. Richard Carapaz doesn't win quietly. He is an absolute box of fireworks when it comes to a climb like this, and he opened them all up when he attacked. Wonderful.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I mean, that was important there for Carlos Rodriguez to hold on to third place, because he got that 4-second time bonus, which will take him into the lead, but it's going to be single figures coming into tomorrow's stage. And with things so delicately balanced with that finishing circuit, this race is not over yet. But what a win. He must have had the fright of his life when he looked behind and saw Lipowitz on his wheel. I'd imagine his managers in the car would have been on the radio. Just keep on going, keep on going. You need to keep on going. He nearly got caught. I think Lipowitz would have been given exactly the same time as the Ecuadorian. But you can see how much it's taken out of him. But what a win by the man from EF Education, Easy Post. Class all round from Carapaz.
Oh, yes. We're going to look back at it now, Matt, as well. That was the moment, wasn't it?
One move. One attack. Nothing wasted. So lean. Like a strokes hit single. Just like 2.5 minutes long. That's all you need. No slack at all. Instinct, precision, power, intelligence, articulated perfectly for a magnificent victory.
That was the look back, Matt. That was that. Oh, hang on a minute. Who's this?
Yeah, who's this guy?
It's Vlasov. No, it's not. Who's this guy? Brilliant. Oh, it was so close at the finish too. Oh, Florian Lipowitz with an extra 50 metres. I think I saw him on the radio a couple of times, Matt, and I think he was asking for permission to do that. He is absolutely flying, the German.
Yeah. Well, there was a stage went up for grabs there, wasn't there? But again, he's not really used to being in this position. It probably a surprise to Alexander Vlasov, but Lipowitz has dropped him. But a brilliant performance by Richard Carapaz, but what a revelatory ride by the man in second position today. He's going to move up the general classification, which is going to have a very different look to it, and we'll get that to you as soon as we can. But there's the moment of despair compared to elation. Despair for Lipowitz, elation for Richard Carapaz, who takes his third victory of the year.
We'll also see what those bonuses do for Florian Lipowitz on the general classification. Let's not forget it was that stage that Thibaut Naiswan off on top of Salvan, the other mountaintop finish we had on Thursday, where Florian Lipowitz went after Luc Plapp, was the only rider to go with Luc Plapp on that occasion, and still finished in 4th place on the stage, ahead of Juan Ayuso, who brought in the very select leading group. So he has ridden well across the whole week. It's not just a one-day revelation. There's the provisional result of the stage, the German getting that very fine second place, but behind the Ecuadorian Olympic champion Richard Carapaz. 4 hours and 6 minutes of epic riding in beautiful terrain. Carlos Rodriguez third, Enric Mas, Vlasov, Bernal, Ilan van Wilder still salvaging 7th after really battling today.